All right. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're super excited to have this opportunity to think about our vision for 2025 and beyond. Before we get started, I want to invite you to let us know where you're joining from in the chat and say hello. And before we get started, I wanted to invite my co-host to also say hello.
Hey, good morning. I hope everybody had a great holiday, and it's exciting to be back in action. So I'm glad to be here and supporting this amazing workshop.
Great.
Hi, I'm Nan Holda. I've been involved with Green Team Academy since the spring of 2020. It's great to see everybody here. I'm really looking forward to this workshop and seeing what everybody's going to be visioning for 2025.
Yeah, perfect. All right, thank you, Nan. And we've got Grace from Long Beach, California. We've got Dr. Emmanuel joining from I'm not sure where. Laura. Oh, great. Oh, nice. So we've got Taunga from Malawi in Africa. We've got Laura Bella in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So really happy to have everybody here. This is going to be a fun. We're going to balance it with kind of jam-packed to keep the energy up, but also little breaks in there for you to take some time to really connect with your vision. We always think of this as that we're just holding hands around the world, and we're already doing that from Malawi to California to Colorado and Utah. Okay,
Yeah.
and in Illinois, Malawi. So we'll have more folks joining us. There's Lori down the road from me in Boulder. And just starting with this little meditation or this idea, none but ourselves can free our minds. And so the fact that we're taking this opportunity to really work on our minds means we're hitting right at the most important part. I am happy and grateful that you guys are all here. We'll be using that phrase a lot today. Our workshop agenda, we're going to be first looking at why we're doing the visioning. We'll do a wellness wheel to do our assessment of what we want to focus on, and then gratitude meditation, then go into writing your personal affirmations and making a plan to unleash those. And Jen's going to wrap it all up with our quantum leap meditation. As we begin this gathering, we honor the indigenous peoples who have stewarded lands across the globe. Their deep connection to earth and deep ecological wisdom continue to guide us. We recognize the global impacts of colonization and the resilience of indigenous communities in protecting ecosystems and holding sacred visions for how to live together. Let this acknowledgement remind us of our shared responsibility to honor Mother Earth and work collectively for a just and sustainable future. Just a little bit about Green Team Academy, if you don't already know about us. We started in 2018, got our nonprofit status in 2021. We've coached hundreds of teams from around the world as part of our International Climate Action Challenge, and we also host the annual Earth Week Summit to amplify the voices of grassroots leaders. 2025, we're working on building up our leadership team and resources. And anybody that wants to make a donation, that is always hugely appreciated, as we're a volunteer-run organization covering our costs and delivering these services around the world. In the chat, as you're thinking about why did you carve out the time, we'd love for you to just drop something into the chat to think about what brought you here today. Why did you decide to join this? So that's a good starting point. And as you're thinking about that, I'm going to turn it over to Jin. And Jin has been doing all kinds of interesting things, like going on a 10-day silent retreat, doing all kinds of diving into meditation. And we asked Jin to help us start the day with a breathing exercise. So over to you, Jen.
Thanks, Joan. Yeah, this is going to be a simple little exercise, but when we breathe, we typically use about 2/3 of our lung capacity. And we always have excess air in our lungs. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to take 3 deep breaths, but we're going to exhale beyond the point that we feel we're able to exhale. So, when you breathe out and you feel like you can't breathe out anymore, I want you to give like one last little huff so that the next breath that you take in is just buoyant and automatic. All right, so we're just going to do 3 of these. Take a deep breath in and then all the way out. Feel you hit your base, go even further. And make the next breath just happen automatically. Just feel your body expanding. And again, with the exhale. And as you take your last breath, I'll just explain a little bit about what this is doing. It's getting us out of fight or flight and grounding us in the space that we're in right now so that we can really envision and really come up with what we want to see for our future. So let's ground in, clear out, and yeah, let's create some magic for what we step into after this little workshop. Thanks, Joan.
What is visioning? What isn't it? And thinking about this boomerang and good vibrations, the idea that you're good at changing and how important repetition and feeling are for this visioning. So, visioning is not occasional positive thinking, like, oh man, I got to go into work today. It won't be that bad because they just restocked the snacks. It's not like that. It's not like a striving, oh wow, if only I had this thing, I would be happy. If I could only run a 10K on my birthday, then I would be happy. It's not a quick fix, and it's not something that's like just woo doo. It's not just ideas that are out there. These are science-based things that can really help you. What we're doing is reprogramming our subconscious mind. And anytime that we're trying to change, but we're not able to, it means that our conscious mind, yes, I'm going to do this. And our subconscious mind, no, you're not, that there's some conflict there. And so being able to understand that and think about how do you overcome those negative patterns? How do you create this new paradigm, these new neural pathways, and understanding that it is going to require repetition and emotion. It's like teaching a new language to your subconscious. It's not like you just say, here's 10 words in Spanish, now use them properly. It's you have to use them again and again, tens of thousands of times, so that your subconscious is speaking the same language that you want to. And a lot of us believe that the subconscious is our connection to universal intelligence. When, as you're working on this level, you start getting downloads, things that you never would have thought about. So we're working on aligning all of that. And the big thing here is that we can really choose. So we can choose to be doubting, worrying, based in fear and stuck in those negative patterns, or we can identify a negative pattern and choose, you know what? I believe that there is something more for me. I don't believe that I need to struggle in this area. I believe that I can move forward, that there's action, that I can take action, I can build confidence, that I can have breakthroughs, that I can feel ease and positive growth. But it really starts with us choosing to make that effort, which I'm so happy that you guys are all here and willing to consider these kind of choices. Everybody's heard about the law of attraction. The other way is to think of it as a boomerang. It's what you throw out comes back to you. And it's as simple as if you're walking down the street and somebody comes out of their house, if you sneered at them or said something mean, they'd probably say something mean back. And so as we go through our life, we want to have that highest energy when we're talking to ourselves and we're thinking about our future. So we don't want to put out a negative vision of, oh, I'll never, blah, 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 or this is so bad, because that's what we're inviting to come back to us. One that I remember was I was skiing and there was like one tree. It was all almost open. And I just kept thinking, I hope I don't run into that tree. I hope I don't run into that tree. I don't know why I was thinking that. What happened? I ran into that tree. And it just reminded me that there's all this wide open space. And if you literally, if you're skiing and you focus on the wide open space, that's where you're going to go. If you focus on that one tree that could break your bones, that might be where you end up, what you end up doing. So it's a very straightforward thing that we're talking about, but something that often in our mind, we don't spend that extra time to really think about. And as I've been doing more exploring and listening to audiobooks and doing different recordings and programs, one of the things I was really stunned to remember or to learn, I don't know, is that shame is one of the lowest vibrations that we can have. So when you start thinking, oh man, it's the end of 2024, I'm still blah, 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 I meant to whatever, oh gosh, I can't believe that is, it's probably right down there at shame. And so the things that you're going to be attracting, things in the negative, we really want to be aware of our self-talk and how often it can fall into shame. And shame is very, I feel like it's really dangerous because that's when you get to hopelessness and wondering about continuing on. It's like it's really a spiral that can happen. And me personally, I'm coming out of about a year-long depression, and I can see where shame played a role in that. And so the more that we can understand how our operating system works and proactively keep ourselves up there in those higher levels, the better. And that is why we're going to be doing a gratitude meditation shortly here. But just as far as continuing on how to make those visions real. So once you start thinking about them, how do you reprogram your subconscious? You say it, you write it, you draw it, you share it, you feel it, you live it, you act as if. So if you want to live in a certain neighborhood, you don't have to buy a home. You could just go there today and walk around. It's so that thing of living something as fully as possible. If you want to be someone who's out there exercising super strong, you could go to the gym, you could watch other people, you could sit at one of the machines, you could talk to someone. There's a lot of things that you could do to actually be living it and being it right now. And then giving yourself that, repeating it. Maybe it's 10,000 times, maybe it's not 3. Maybe that's been where you've faltered in the past. And to really understand the power of our imagination. Our imagination, a lot of times people talk about that your kids, oh, you should use your imagination. But we're using our imagination all the time. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's for the negative. So we live out of our imagination. And so that's what we want to be doing right now, is purposely doing it. So I'd like you to grab a piece of paper and we're going to do a wellness wheel. So the first thing that we're going to think about is, what are those areas of life that are important to you? Don't worry about this list right here. There could be so many areas of your life, right? Your finances, your connection to nature, your work-life balance, your relationships, your family, your friends, spirituality, adventure. So what we're going to do is start with this wellness wheel. So go ahead and draw a circle that's like this, and we're just going to divide it in half, half again, and then divide it again. So you end up with 8 pieces of your pie. So you're just going to go ahead and write on your wheel. I'll read them off to you in case you can't see it. I don't know if you're working on your phone or something. The first one is physical health, and then mental health, relationships, recreation, finances, career, spirituality, and home. I'll read those through one more time. Physical health, mental health, relationships, recreation, finances, career, spirituality, and home. And what this does is this gives you a way to do just an assessment where you are on all these different areas. What you first want to do is just do a dot in the center of each place. Okay, my physical health is actually doing pretty good. I had some foot problems earlier. I wasn't able to exercise. Those have resolved. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm able to do some walking. My mental health, I realize I'm not quite, whatever. My relationships are great right now. My home, not so much. Whatever it is for you, you just want to go through. It's like you're scoring yourself from 1 to 10, where 0 is the inside and 10 is the outside. And after you've done that, this is just another version of the same thing with a little bit more details, a little harder to see, but some of these little extra notes might be helpful when you're doing this again later. Now what you want to do is just connect the dots. And the great thing about connecting the dots is it shows you how the things that are doing well are pulling up the things that are doing not so well, and vice versa. In the example I gave you, the fact that the physical health is a little better now is helping the mental health be pulled up. But the fact that the mental health is a little lower, that might be impacting the relationships too. And so knowing that you don't have to address everything all at once, but recognizing these parts that are high, and those might be areas that you really focus on when we do our gratitude exercise shortly here. And then the affirmations will be the areas those areas that you really feel like you want to make some big changes. Those would be great for when we're working on affirmations. There's a few other resources here in the slides. I know if you're doing this in paper and you want to like scribble and doodle and put different colors and put it up on your wall, then you might want to do something more artistic. I've done it where I've tried to make different patterns, or some have flowers and stripes and all kinds of things. So if you want to give yourself more time, then get out your colored pencils and do something that way too. And then there's a blank one if you think those topic areas aren't really that's not what I would have chosen, then you can do your own. Here's another one I've used before too. This has, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, more like 12 slices. So you can slice it down further of those things that you really want to hone in on. So there's no one way to do this. You can just do the quick one that we just did, or you can create your own topics. All right. So as you just did that wellness wheel and you were thinking about some of those areas that you're really grateful for, or maybe you're even grateful for some of those challenges that you're looking at. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nan, and Nan is going to lead us in a gratitude meditation.
Hello again, everyone. So I invite everybody to begin by sitting comfortably. Make sure both feet are touching the floor to ground yourself. Let your hands rest in your lap or by your sides. Close your eyes and take a deep, steady breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let your body relax and allow your breathing to become slow and natural. As you settle, bring to mind one thing you are grateful for right now. Hold that gently in your thoughts. Now, let's take a walk. Imagine yourself walking along a peaceful forest path. The ground beneath your feet is soft, cushioned by fallen leaves. Each step you take feels supported by the earth. Pause and feel gratitude for this foundation beneath you, for the earth that provides us with food, shelter, and life itself. Whisper, "Thank you, earth, for your strength and abundance." Look up and see sunlight streaming through the branches above, casting golden patterns on the path. The warmth of the sun touches your skin. Without the sun, life could not flourish. Whisper, "Thank you, sun, for your light and energy that sustains us." As you continue walking, you hear the gentle sound of water, a stream winding its way through the forest. Kneel beside the stream and watch its clear, cool flow. Imagine how water nourishes every living being, from the smallest seed to the largest tree. Whisper, "Thank you, water, for your nourishment and renewal." Now, notice the air around you. A soft breeze brushes against your face. Breathe deeply, filling your lungs with this gift of life. The air connects you to the trees, the sky, and all living creatures. Whisper, "Thank you, air, for your breath of life and connection." Let your awareness expand to the sounds of nature, the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, the distant hum of life. Feel a sense of gratitude for these voices, each a reminder that we share this world with countless other beings. Whisper, "Thank you, nature, for your beauty and harmony." Finally, bring your attention inward. Place a hand over your heart and feel its steady rhythm. This is your connection to life itself. Your body, mind, and spirit have carried you through every moment. Whisper, "Thank you, body, for your resilience. Thank you, heart, for your strength. Thank you, life, for this moment." Take in a deep breath, holding all this gratitude in your heart. Exhale slowly, imagining it flowing outward, like ripples in a pond, touching everything and everyone around you, expanding out through the universe. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and return to your physical space. Carry this feeling of gratitude with you, knowing it is always available to return to whenever you need. Thanks, everyone.
Amen. Thank you very much, Nan.
You're welcome.
Wow, that feels so great. So what we're going to do now is take that feeling that you have and write a quick list. Just take like a couple minutes and start writing, "I am happy and grateful for," and we're just going to make a quick list of 10 things. If you want to share some things in the chat, then feel free. Okay, as you get toward the end of that list and you're feeling super grateful, we're going to add a little bonus part on our list. And now I want you to think of 3 situations or people that are really annoying you or frustrating you. 3 areas where you're just like, "Argh." And jot those down too. This could be a person, a politician, a policy. It could be a situation, something like right now. I've got 2 screens, but I can only get one working. It was like anything that's annoying you, and turn that back around and send those people, those situations love. Because as we know, that feeling, that constriction, that's in our hearts. That's something we're carrying. So we want to turn this around and wish them the best, the happiest new year, the most love, the most spiritual guidance, the most alignment, the most awakening, the most resolution, the most compassion, the most kindness. So what we're doing here is we're actively doing this where we're coming up as we're at the end of the year and we might be thinking, oh, dang it, I never got that one cupboard cleaned out. Or I don't know how my finances still look like this. Like whatever the thing is, we're moving out of shame and we're moving back up to gratitude. And that meditation that Nan did and all the people and the resources, everything that we're surrounded with that we're grateful for. Because we become what we think about most of the time. And I think using the analogy of language is great. It's if you're speaking English all day, you're going to probably be really good at English. But if you want to learn Spanish, you want to learn Swahili, if you spend time speaking that, you're going to be able to do that more automatically going forward. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about writing affirmations. So first, when you did that wellness wheel, first go ahead and just choose 3 areas that you want to concentrate on. It could be something around your physical, your mental health, your exercise, adventure, your food, your finances, your career, spirituality. Okay, so once you have those 3 areas that you're going to focus on, those are the areas that we're going to be writing affirmations. And so don't worry about diving into that right now. I want to give you a little bit of background. First, we're going to write detailed affirmations. If you want to come up with a mantra summarizing, first, it's usually easier to go into the detail. What are some of the things when you say that you want to work on like organizing your home? What does that really mean? And so think about sensory elements. How does it smell? What is the feel of it? What is the sounds that you hear? So that you really have those emotions. What is the emotion welling up in your heart when you're looking at this area and thinking how it could be in the future? So I'll give you another example. I'll give you an example, but you want to start with the present tense as if it has already happened. So I can't say like this thing right here, this is something I want in the future, but we're speaking the future into the present, into existence. So we start with, I am happy and grateful now that, and then this is an example of one with the sensory. I live in a beautiful home that I can easily afford. The home is tidy, bright, and inviting. Pollinators buzz about the flowers and plants. My trusty bike sits on the front porch, ready to take me on nearby outings. I love working in my garden and harvesting nature's abundance for me, family, and friends. I love preparing colorful, nutritious, delicious foods. I feel safe, secure, and comfy. My home is a wonderful financial investment. I take good care of my home. I love to write and do art projects at home. My home inspires creativity and peace. The next thing that we're going to do is condense that. Because sometimes when you're freaking out, you just need a short sentence. So you want to do the detailed one first and then do the short one. So my short one on this same one would be, I'm happy and grateful now that I have a wonderful home that is a cozy creative oasis for me, my family, and my community. Or maybe just, I'm happy and grateful now that I own a wonderful home. When I say I own a wonderful home, I've got pollinators buzzing, I've got the bicycle there. But by giving you the two different ways to work on your affirmations, you get to do both of those. Here's another couple examples from Bob Proctor. Proctor, I'm happy and grateful now that money is coming to me in increasing amounts through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Or from Louise Hay, with this, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. Thank you, life. I am an unlimited being, accepting from an unlimited source in an unlimited way. You can go with short affirmations. I'm loved, loving, and lovable. Or probably the shortest, I am love. So with that, the other thing that you really want to tune into is if you find yourself using I am, because most people know that I am is also in many languages, it is the meaning of God. Yahweh is I am. Yahweh, the name of God, is also the word I am. So when we're using I am, that is like the most powerful thing that we can use. So if you find yourself saying, I'm broke, I'm sleep deprived, I'm lazy, I'm this, I'm that, those are ones that you really want to tune into because you've identified with that. You can make it, oh, the balance in my bank is not so high right now, instead of I am. But then the affirmation would be, I am financially prosperous. I get plenty of sleep. I get things done. All right, so with that, we're going to set a timer. I'm going to tell you how many minutes that is in a second, but I want you to work on those 3 affirmations. So 3 long ones, and then condense them to be 3 short ones that you could use more like a panic first aid band-aid mantra. The more detailed one is something you could be doodling, you could create a vision board, you could go into a lot more depth. So with that, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes and we'll meet back here 10 minutes from now. Give yourself this amount of time to just picture that I amness of whatever it is that you want in your life. And I can't wait to see how this goes. All right, be back here in 10. You may still be working on your affirmations, and that's totally fine. We were hoping that what we were able to offer today would give you a sample of what it is to go through all these steps, and the most important ones, which we haven't gotten to yet, which is how you put that into action. And this is often the missing piece between just having an idea and helping it manifest, helping it become a reality. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up our breakout rooms and have 3 people go into each one. And there should be a host or a co-host. Jen or Nan or myself should be in each of the rooms with you. And it's just a chance to meet somebody from around the world that is working on this too. Okay, welcome back, everyone. What are some things that we're recording this? So if you want to come off mute and share one of your 1-sentence affirmations, who would be interested in doing that? Jen?
I can go too. I boiled all three of my things down to one sentence. So I'm going to read this for you.
Okay,
I'll
great.
read
I was
this.
going to call on you guys to get the party started. Thank
Okay, I'm getting the party started. Okay. I am happy and grateful for fulfilling relationships, a rewarding life purpose, and a peaceful home on a lake.
you. Woo! Boom.
Woo! Got all three things in one. Woo!
So you can see the difference, like the details are great for when you're diving in, but the short one is great as like a mantra, like a stop worrying mantra to just inject there.
Mhm.
Jen, would you like to offer one?
Yeah, for sure. And I am actually going to work on it to do what Nan did and consolidate all of mine into one so I could just keep it on repeat. But I'm working in a purposeful position that supports me financially and allows me to be of service to the planet.
Oh no, yeah, because you want to add your books in there and your
Yeah, home space. Yeah, to have
Well,
a home
see,
space where I can keep a book collection. Yeah.
Yes. So that's why I use the word rewarding because for me, because I was thinking I wanted like it to be rewarding in multiple ways, financially,
Mm.
Mhm.
spiritually, whatever. So the rewarding was a word that like captured all of that. That's what I started thinking when coming up with a shorter version. Like, what's one word that encompasses all these different details that you anyway. So I just
Cool.
put that out there.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Who else would like to offer a one sentence affirmation? Okay, great. So you might have been to this point before in your life where you've worked on your goals, your visions, you start writing things down, and then it somehow disappears. So this next part that we're going to be covering is super important. So I want you to stay with me here and really be present and understand that this is like the secret sauce that we're talking about now. We worked on these affirmations, understanding that it's great to have the detailed one, and it's also great to have the shorthand version. And so I encourage you to keep going with those so that you have both. Now we're on to the section of putting your affirmations to work. I like to say, get them a job, get them employed, give them something to do. They're out there, they have this power, and they're like, now what do I do? So we're going to put them to work. So what we want to do now is make a plan to unleash these affirmations as your manifestation power in the world. You can write it, say it, draw it, see it, feel it, be it. But in order to magnify your impact, you want to choose an action partner and you want to understand about consistent, spaced repetition. For example, when I was listening to this Bob Proctor Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life program, he said that he and his partner were working on a new program for their business. They committed to every day for a year. He does it at 5:30 a.m. from 5:30 to 5:35. He writes his affirmation, his vision of this project. It's a 9-line, like 2-paragraph thing. He writes it 3 times, the same thing every single day. He then records it. He reads it, records it, and he sends it to his business partner every day for 365 days. That means he has written it 3 times. So 3 times 365, that's what, 1,000 roughly. He has said it out loud 1,000 times, and he sent it to his business partner 365 days. This is 5 days a week. So this is the kind of thing that changes that affirmation, that one thing that you say that makes you feel good in the moment, to reprogramming your subconscious. So what you want to work on now is what is your plan for each of these? And what I've found is that different people are best suited for different parts of my affirmations. For example, I got to tell you guys this. I've been wanting to have a morning exercise routine I signed up for a 6 a.m. exercise class in 1982, a 6-week program that started at 6:15, and every day I set the alarm, and my husband would say, like, why are you doing this? You're never going to go. I'm like, I'm going to go tomorrow. I didn't. For 6 weeks, my alarm went off multiple times. I didn't go. So I've multiple times been trying to do that. But this year, after reading this Bob Proctor thing and seeing the amount of dedication, the amount of repetition, I started texting my morning action partner the night before saying, I have a morning yoga routine that I love. It keeps my body and mind, it keeps me flexible in body and mind. So I started writing that 3 times every night and sending it to her in the morning. Guess what? I have a morning yoga routine where my body now expects this. It is now the norm. So this is what I'm saying. These things, these problems, these challenges, these things that you've been trying to overcome for decades, whether it's financial or spiritual or adventure or organizing, all of these things, you have the ability to change. You're good at doing this. We can find action partners for each of these things. Laura and I will do a lot of these like organizing things where we bookend. We say, I'm going to do this thing. I will message you in at the top of the hour and I'll send you a picture, send you before picture and after picture of this corner that I'm cleaning. So having action partners, having an action team, which is what we talk about with Green Team Academy, that if you have a vision for something that you want to have happen in your community, get a team together, start working on your vision, hold each other accountable. That's why during the challenge, we have weekly meetings. It's because it's accountability, it's visioning, it's action. And the last thing that you can do is this life script. As you come up with something of, man, I really wish I had better clothes to wear to a such and such event. It's instead of that shame, that whatever, you just flip it around. I have 3 amazing outfits that I have at the ready anytime I need to go to a job interview, a formal event. You just switch it around. And so now your life script becomes all these affirmations tacked together, like Nan's 1-sentence extended affirmation. But if you Google life script, you can find out some directions on that. So in that case, you're putting it all together, and then you can write your life script and read it to yourself every morning. Send it off to your action partner, however you want to do it. So once you understand this basic concept of taking those pieces, flipping any kind of, oh, why can I never get my act together here? Oh, that's a place that I can just reprogram my subconscious mind. I'm good at changing. I know how to do it now. And so at this point, as we're summing things up, I want to turn it over to Jen, and she is going to take us through a quantum leap meditation. And I just want to thank everybody for being with us, and we will head into the quantum leap meditation now. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, Joan. Yeah, I'm excited to do this meditation. It's a really awesome way to get us actually experiencing the life that we are moving into with our new affirmations. So we'll start off, just put your feet on the ground if you're able to, and just ground. We'll take a couple of deep breaths together. We'll just do 3 deep breaths. So in and out. And in. And then release out through your mouth. And then one last time, deep breath in. And we'll release it. And now we're just going to be still and present where we are in whatever space we're in right now. Let's try and be very present. What are we smelling? What are we hearing? How does the space that we're in make us feel? Ideally, we're in a space that we're comfortable with, but if not, still just bring in the senses. What are we experiencing in this moment? So, we're going to visualize that there's a mirror on the other side of the room from us. And while we're taking in our surroundings in the space that we are currently in, this mirror that has appeared has piqued interest. So we'll stand up, we'll see ourselves standing up and walking towards this mirror to go investigate a little bit. And when we look into the mirror, it seems to be a little bit distorted from what a mirror should look like. It doesn't seem to be properly reflecting the experience or the atmosphere that you're in now in the mirror. Stick your hand out. I want you to visualize sticking your hand out towards this mirror and touching it. And as you touch the mirror, you might be surprised to sense that your hand doesn't stop. Your hand just goes through. So then you notice that you're able to go through. This isn't actually a mirror at all. It seems to be more of a doorway of some sort of portal. As you continue to reach your hand through this mirror, you step through, and although things seem similar, you can feel that they're different. And in this new space, on the other side of this mirror, this portal that you just walked through, is a life that is waiting for you. That we started creating today. You were able to just step into this life. So now in this new space, we're going to bring the same presence that we did when we were in the space that we were comfortable in. What does this new space feel like? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you sensing? If you're stepping into your new home that is perfectly put together to build the foundation of your new home, what does that home look like? What does it smell like? What does your experience look like when thoughts are coming through logically and clearly, and you can communicate in a way that feels good for you and for others? What does leading an organization that is empowering the children and the women and planting all of the trees, what does this feel like? What does your body, how does it take it in? What does it smell like? Feel the earth in your hands. We're just going to step in, and I'm going to be quiet for about 3 minutes so that we can fully feel and embrace and embody this new life that we are creating for ourselves. So I'm going to be quiet for a couple of minutes and just take in all of the sensory details that you can about the new life that you are created. I'm going to invite everybody to really sense their heart space in what you're creating. How does your heart feel in this new experience? So I'm going to ask everybody to take a deep breath where they are and just take a screenshot, an image, a mental image of the life that you are right now experiencing, or your future life that you are right now experiencing during this meditation. Because although we're about to step back through that portal, this is a future that is available to you based on how you show up, how you speak to yourself, and how you choose to experience your life. So take a deep breath. And then from where you are, turn around to face the mirror or portal that you had initially walked through. And we will, again, start with a hand, stick a hand through, and step back through into the space that we now are comfortable with, and we know this is our current reality. And so we'll ground in, come back to our bodies, and know that future that we just experienced in our heart, in our being, is there for us if we keep affirming and taking the proper steps to make that future a reality. Whenever you're ready, come back to your body. You can open your eyes, and yeah, we'll come back to the room.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Absolutely.
I love that idea of having that portal right there that you could always step into. And we know that emotions and senses are so important, but also really, we're also learning how powerful the heart is compared to even the brain. And so tapping into how that heart space feels and bringing that with us as we hop into what we see around us now. I love that. It's like the secret
sauce.
the secret door that you just move the cabinet or something and pop in there.
It's always available.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or something. Yeah, very cool. All right. Thank you so much. I was in a meeting the other day, in a 12-step meeting, and somebody said, I really wish I could make all these changes myself and just not talk to anybody. And the thing is that isolation is part of the problem. If you could have changed by yourself, you probably would have. Opening up to someone, being vulnerable, trusting the universe. There's people that want to work on this thing with me. I'm not going to be bothering them with this text message that says I'm starting my yoga practice now. It's actually going to be inspiring them. And so turning things around to make more connections is the doorway to making these things happen. So thank you so much, everybody. We will have different events coming up in the future. As I said, we're reassessing and rebuilding our leadership team. If you would like to make a contribution, we would very much appreciate that. So as your end of year giving, any donation would be terrific. Thanks, everybody, and we look forward to meeting you at the next one. And best wishes for 2025, and let's make amazing things happen together. All right, thanks all.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.